Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. You were almost right there with your prediction.
Yeah, what did I call it? 9th round knockout, or is that what I said? Right, 8th or 9th? I don't know. Maybe I gave Ryan too much credit. You know what? I just put a post. I just posted on Facebook, and it made so much sense because I was talking to someone else about the fight. But there's levels to this thing too, right? There's levels to fighting, and I just thought of it right away, and I said, man, I said, you have to walk through the fire a few times before you call yourself a firewalker. Ryan hasn't walked in the fires a few times. He hasn't been through the grunts. He hasn't been hit. He hasn't been, he's been knocked out, but it was a real quick flash knockdown. But you haven't had those wars where you call yourself like a warrior. He knocks everybody out. He's strong, but it hasn't been hard for him. You have to have those hard fights to call yourself one of those guys. Every fighter's had them. Floyd's had them. Everyone's had those hard fights. And I don't think Ryan's has had. He's been knocked down at one time, but it was a flash knockdown. Got up, stopped him the next round, whatever. But man, to call yourself that type of a warrior, you got to go through those wars, and to call it he's a great fighter. I'm not saying anything about him. He's a great fighter, but Tank is just that. These are on different levels. It's levels to this game. Do you think
Ryan Garcia can bounce back?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, in boxing, you really need the speed and you need power, and he has them both. And now the third one that you have to have is intellect. Because you could see in this fight, you could see Tank just reading everything about what he was doing. How he threw that overhand left and caught him and dropped him. He planned that from the beginning. And if you think about it, if you saw that punch, right? Think about this. He drops down, he throws the overhand left and catches him and drops him. The second time he drops him, he's in the body. Instead of coming over the top, he just went straight to the body. And Ryan was already up high. He got hit to the liver. But it looks like those punches were set up because I don't know. It just looks like they were set up.
With just a great fight. A fighter, what do you say to those that don't understand how hard a body shot can be?
I mean, those things. I've never been hit in the liver like that, where I couldn't get up. I've been hit to the body. Remember when I was fighting Shane Mosley, I think I went down 4 or 5 times, but I was more from fatigue. I had to drop 17 pounds in 3 weeks to fight Shane Mosley. Had a 3-week notice. But I was from fatigue. But I kept getting up. I kept getting up, and it kept hitting me to the body. And I just had, but whatever it is. But you just get up. You just try to get up no matter what, because all it takes is one punch. And Ryan's so strong, he could just hit some guy with one punch and knock him out. So you keep getting up, you keep giving yourself a chance to do something. You have to, you have to. And I've never been hit to the body like that, so I can't say he could have gotten up. But the way he looked at him, and a lot of times it happens. The guy gets up right at 10, right? He gets up right at 10. But sometimes you got to question what his thoughts are. Like, man, I can't get up because I'm going to get knocked out, or I can't get up because I can't get up, or I'll get him the next time. Whatever it is, everyone has those discussions with themselves in their head. If I get up, I'm going to get knocked out, or if I get up, I don't care if I get knocked out. Those fighters, different fighters, go through different things like that, and only he knows what he said to himself.
Ryan Garcia regrets it now. Not continuing?
I don't know. That's a question for him. I've always said I'd rather get knocked out. When I fought Arturo Gatti, he hit me in that rib in the 4th round. At the end of the 4th round, he caught me with an uppercut. I went back to my corner. I couldn't breathe. I was not breathing at all. I was trying to inhale. It feels like a broken rib. And I told Ronnie says, go after him because I'm going to stop this fight. And I went after him. If you look at the 5th round, I went after him, trying to knock him out. I got cut after that, but I was trying to go for the knockout because I knew Ronnie was going to stop it because I wasn't breathing. And those are things that I at least tell myself, at least I went out there and gave myself a chance. I went out there in the 5th round and tried to knock him out. I got caught trying to knock him out, but I at least know I went out with my shield. And, and I don't have no regrets.
Hey, you said something quite interesting days ago when we first talked about this fight, if we talked about the Lou Campo dropping Ryan Garcia, and I asked you if Ryan Garcia was going to go down against Tank Davis, was he going to be able to get up? You said no.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm telling you, there's levels to this thing, man. Tank's a different fighter. You could see the crazy. He must have crazy power because it makes you question yourself, right? He got hit with Luke Campbell, got back up, no big deal, right? He gets hit with Tank. He's thinking about getting up. He got up the first time, but you question those things because do you want to go another? It was a 7th round, another 4 rounds, and with this punishment that Tank's gonna give you, you question yourself, man. I'm telling you, and. You know, not everyone's Arturo Gatti, not everyone's Mickey Ward, not everyone's those type of fighters that are going to keep getting up, you know. And so you question yourself.
Do you think that perhaps Ryan Garcia was frustrated not being able to hurt Tank Davis? Because he did land a few good shots early in the fight.
But nothing clean, though. There was nothing clean on the fight, on the punches. He never. Tank's defense is great. I was discussing this earlier with some other people. Is how another fighter on Facebook about how he said that Mayweather and Tank are almost the same type of defensive fighters. I said, yeah, almost, right, but they're elusive. You don't hit them, and Tank is sneaky, like not Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker was more elusive with his body. He moved everywhere. I used to spar him a lot. And he moved with his body more with his legs. Tank is just sneaky defensive. Like he blocks something and comes out with something else right away. But the same type of fighter, though, sneaky and quick. And Tank has power. Pernell didn't have a lot of power. His speed was his power, but Tank has it all, man. It's scary. It's scary.
And since you mentioned Sweet Pea, I got to ask you this tough question. I believe that Sweet Pea beat Chavez. My father was a big Chavez fan, so he believes that Chavez won. What do you think?
Oh, Pernell won. He won the fight. Yeah, he won the fight. You know, it was one of those things. But, yeah, he won the fight. And I was going for – I mean, I liked them both, but – you know, I knew them both really well. I sparred with Pernell so many times, and actually, I didn't think I may have been helping him spar a little bit, but yeah, he won the fight.
I gotta ask you, since you sparred Whitaker, I gotta ask you, what were your thoughts in his fight against Felix Trinidad? Because I was surprised that with Felix Trinidad being one of my favorite fighters and being such an explosive type of guy, knocking everyone out, he wasn't able to knock out Whitaker.
I'll tell you that defense Whitaker has is sneaky, man. He just moves well. He makes you miss. You think you're gonna hit him and you can't hit him. And he takes a great punch, man. Pernell, I don't know how many times Pernell ever went down, but I don't think many, right? If he ever went down, I'm not sure, but man, his defense is good. His chin was great. Yeah, and with Trinidad, he didn't get hit. He doesn't get hit clean. Guys like that don't get hit clean.
It's fun to watch. Footwork.
Great. I mean, he doesn't get hit much, right? He don't get hit. He got hit a couple of times, but nothing clean. Ryan Garcia is super fast. He's just as fast as Tank, but Tank is just smart in there. He's smart. It was impressive to see. I was excited for the fight, and I think I had the Tank gave up the first round, and then maybe one more round after that, or the third or fourth round he gave up. But
were you surprised to see how Ryan Garcia went right after Tank Davis in that first round?
You know what? I was thinking. I was thinking, like, why would a guy with so much height and so much power and reach go after a shorter fighter and smother his punches? Why would you do that? Why don't you just box the guy from the outside? The guy would never touch you. How is he going to touch you? You have a reach, you have a distance, you have power. The guy's going to have to work really hard to come after you, and he's going to make mistakes. Be the boxer. Be the boxer. You don't have to be the slugger all the time. Some guys fall in love with their power, and they want to become the slugger. You have the reach, you have everything over a guy, and you're trying to come after him. I don't know. I don't know what the thinking was about that. I thought he would be a boxer. Like, think of Alex Aguayo. Think of Salvador Sanchez, man. Those guys boxed beautifully. They had the height over Salvador Sanchez, 5'8". He was almost the same size as, I think, maybe the same size as Ryan. Maybe not, maybe a little shorter, but he was a smooth boxer. I don't see why Ryan was going after the shorter guy. Doesn't make sense. To shorter guys like me and Ryan, Gervonta Davis are the same height with 5'5.5". I love when guys came after me. I said, "Oh, good, you're making my job easier now." I love when they came after me because then I could move in. You know, I don't have to work my way in. But with guys like Oscar that use their reach and use their distance,
You know,
it's a tough fight.
I always, since you mentioned that, I always wonder, like, why Chico Corrales also didn't use his height advantage.
Yep. Because they fall in love with their power. Some guys fall in love with their power, man. And if you just depend on power, some guy's going to outbox the heck out of you.
And
See, for me, I'm lucky because I didn't have that much power in my career. I knocked out some guys, but I didn't knock out a lot of guys. You know, I dropped a Zuma Nelson, only the second guy to drop him since Salvador Sanchez. But I didn't have a lot of power. I just had good technique. I had not even fast. I wasn't even a fast fighter. I don't even call myself a fast. At 125, I was fast, but not 130, 35. But I just had to depend on my brains and my movement and my conditioning and everything else. But I didn't have power or speed. I just made it work somehow. But if I had power, oh my God, I'll still be fighting.
what do you think Joe Goosen said to Ryan Garcia? Do you think Joe Goosen gave him that advice to go after Tank Davis, or do you think Ryan Garcia did that because he wanted to?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Goosen's that type of trainer to say go after him unless he knew that his fighter was done and you have to go out and try to get it. But I don't know. Why you're the taller fighter with the longer reach, you go after the shorter, stronger guy. You just fall into their traps. You just fall into their game plan. That's what they want you to do. They want you to come in. And if he just would have boxed on the outside, it would have made it a lot longer, a lot tougher for Tank to get to him. If he just boxed, think of Linares moving around, boxing, using his jab and staying on the outside. It's a tough fight for Tank. Yeah, can you imagine him boxing around, moving, using his distance? Look what he did to Haney. 15 more seconds of that fight, Haney's out cold because Linares knew how to finish a fight. 15, people are talking about Haney, this, and I don't know who Haney is. He's a great fighter, though. I know he's a great fighter, but 15 more seconds, Linares has him out cold. Remember, he walked him to his corner, right? And people wouldn't be talking about Haney like this right now. They're talking, he's a great fighter, but Linares would have had him out cold, man, because Linares knew how to finish a fight. Maybe 30 more seconds. Yeah. He finishes him. And he's already past his prime. That was Linares, second? Was that his last fight or second to last fight?
Yeah.
He was already past his prime.
He was past his prime. And since you mentioned Haney, I hear a lot of boxing fans wanting to see Haney versus David next.
Tank?
Yeah.
Against Tank, right? Yeah. Better be careful with that one, too. Yeah, you better be careful with
But Haney has a tough fight. Speaking of Devin Haney, he has a tough fight coming up May 20th against Vasily Lomachenko. What's your thoughts on that fight?
I don't know. I'm not sure because I've seen Lomachenko fight and I've seen him, fight well, and I've seen him fight just getting by and not having those same knockouts that he used to have. I don't know if he's had a lot of wear and tear in his body, or if he's, we all fight hurt some boys, right? We're all fighting hard or hurt. But I just think Haney's a little faster, a little stronger, a little bit more durable right now than Lomachenko. But it's a tough fight too, man. Both these guys have been dropped. They've both been dropped by Linares, right? They've both been hurt by Linares. And so it's a tough fight for both of them. I had to go with Haney only because he's a bigger guy, I think. He's a bigger fighter. and Lomachenko, the older fighter as well. Maybe not too many wars now. Good fight though. I'll be watching.
And I got to ask you about Shakur Stevenson, because that's also another name being mentioned at the moment for Tank Davis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I put all those guys. I don't think any of those guys have the same power that Tank has, man. So when you have that power, and you have what's he do with that loaded gun, right? He blows his gun or something. He's always loading his gun. You gotta be careful, man, because that he's smart. He takes his time. He's not in a hurry. He waits for you to make the mistakes, and he punishes you for those mistakes. So all those guys gotta be careful.
Your thoughts on David Morrell Jr.?
Look great, man. What a power! Wow, that was amazing, man. So much power, and he trained. Ronnie Shields trains him. So I'm a fan of his. Both guys, Ronnie and Morrell, man. But that was just a great. So much power. Wow, he's scary. David Benavidez, right? Is that the same weight guy? Same weight class? Man, great fight.
You think that fight will happen next?
Great fight. Probably not next. Maybe in one or two more fights, but it's not gonna happen next. They gotta make it happen. Make it like build it up more, so it just gets more press. But that's the talk, right? So let them build it up more and have it be a mega fight. Like Tank and Garcia. They built this thing up so big. I was so excited for the fight. I haven't been excited for a fight in a long, long time. We went to a party and we all had the fights outside. It was just a great night.
What's your thoughts on the possibility of Canelo versus Benavidez, since we just mentioned Benavidez?
Yeah. I don't, Canelo's been fighting everybody, right? He's fighting everybody. And when he has a fight like he's gonna have this fight, people talk about, let him have his fight, man. He's gonna fight tough again, right? But like you said, Benavidez, man, that's a really tough fight. And you have to always watch out for Canelo because he's having a lot of wars. He's had a lot of fights now. Second's been fighting. He was 16 in the pros, and so you have to. That's a lot of wear and tear on the body. A lot of training. It's not the fights that get you beat up. It's the training that gets you beat up. Because you train every single day. The fight's just one night. But, man, every single day, putting your body through that grind, that's what beats you up, not the fights. And the sparring, think about it. I used to spar 100 to 140 rounds of sparring for each fight. That's a lot of fights.
I always wonder how Canelo keeps getting up for fights after making so much money. Remember what Marvin Hagler once said? It's to get out of bed in silk pajamas, I think.
Yeah. Some guys, but like that is true because you think of all these purses these guys are making now, and what drives you now? Is it so I've said this before, and I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but when we're people in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, always fighting before, we fought to be champions. We fought to be the best, and we knew the money would come. To me now is fighters fight to make the money and hopefully become champions. There's a difference. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the millennial thing or whatever, but when we fought to be great and to be champions, and hopefully the money will come. Now they want to make the money, and maybe the championship will come. Maybe, I don't know. Who's right, who's wrong?
What it is, it's because of Floyd Mayweather making so much money that a lot of these young fighters want to make that kind of money.
Yeah, there's only one Mayweather, right? But there's a lot of money being thrown around nowadays, man. I wish I was fighting I was fighting now. I'll be some more great money. I make good money too, but man, it is what it is.
Ryder, May 6th, not Cinco de Mayo, but May 6th. Who do you got?
Canelo easily, yeah. Well, not easily, but Canelo wins the fight. I mean, this is good for him too. He needs a fight like this. He needs a fight like this for the fans and to show, it's good for TV. It's gonna be good, but he's gonna come back. He's gonna fight again, like you said, Benavidez maybe, right? That's a tough fight for him.
And the good thing about it is that Canelo's fighting in Mexico.
Yeah, yeah. When has he ever done that? He hasn't done that, right, in forever, right? So let him give back to the fans that have given him so much, and let him treat the fans to a good fight. They'd probably be giving tickets away over there. Who knows? But he needs to do this. It's good for him. That set him up to run for president,
Speaking
like
of
Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao, he was in attendance last night for the Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight.
I saw him. Who did he have winning? He had Garcia winning,
I
right?
didn't get
Or did he have Tank?
that part.
I forgot who he picked. I forgot who he picked. I think he picked. You know what? I think he picked. I think he picked Garcia. I think he picked Garcia to win the fight. He was wrong. Not everybody's an expert, right?
So did Manny Pacquiao? Did he gamble? Did he do some betting on that fight?
I don't know. He did say he was gonna fight again in a exhibition. He was gonna do that. He was gonna start getting ready for one in July. I think he did say that. I don't know who he said he was gonna fight though, but he said he was gonna do an exhibition again. And then they asked him, "Are you gonna fight for real anytime soon?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know." Like he put it out there, maybe, but probably not. He looked heavier too already. He looked heavy. His face looked chubbier than usual.
What's your thoughts on some fighters doing these exhibition fights? Have you ever thought about doing an exhibition fight?
You know what? I've thought about it, and I actually knew who I was going to do an exhibition fight with. I forgot, maybe 2 years ago, I think. Maybe 2 years ago, I was going to do an exhibition with Garcia, the trainer, Robert Garcia. We were going to do an exhibition here in San Antonio. We talked about it. Both camps had talked about it, I think, but it never materialized because the fight never came to San Antonio. And it may have been on the undercard of Canelo fight, but it never happened, so we didn't do it. But I would have done that one. I would have done that one, but now I don't want to do it because it's you got to train for it. You got to get ready. You know, I would have to, get down. I'd probably have to lose about 25 pounds or whatever. But it doesn't interest me anymore. I don't even spar in the gym anymore because I don't want to get hit in the head any more than what I have to, right? So, I don't even spar anymore. I used to spar with my clients, but I don't do that anymore. I'm getting too old, man. I'm 56 years old. I don't need to be getting hit anymore.
Jessie James Leija, once again, I thank you for taking your time to join me, and we'll be possibly doing this again.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love this, man. I thank you. I thank you for having this platform, for having me and talking boxing with me. I appreciate it, and I applaud you for having this. It's great for people to see different fighters talk about the fight game.
I'm going to show you a special boxing item that I have here that I got signed from Pernell Whitaker. Right there.
Oh wow.
Sweet.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, man. I have a lot of pictures with Pernell. We sparred a lot. I'm trying to find. I have video of he and I sparring on VHS. I just gotta find the tape, and I'm gonna put it on digital and maybe post it one day. But I sparred with him a lot, man. We had great sparring. I sparred with him in Florida, in Virginia Beach, here in San Antonio when they would they would have training camp in San Antonio. I sparred with him a lot. We became good friends. Ronnie would train us both. Man,
yeah,
great guy.
One of the greatest boxers of all time.
Yep.
Okay.
Gone too soon.
We'll be talking soon.
All right, bro. Talk to you later. Okay, take care.